All right, let's set up here, and we're going to be into the add new items.vue. And in here we need to figure out where we want to add our HTML so we can actually upload a file. And we're going to use the input of the type of file to attach it to. So we want to do it just after the price here. So after the field ends with price, that's where I want to do it. So I'm going to make a little space so you can see. And here I'm just going to first do a non-vuetify one to create all the things here so we can see how it actually looks and how we would do it without vuetify. Because it's a little bit different when we need to grab the image by using vuetify and not using vuetify. I'm going to show you both ways. So what we want to upload is a file type, type of file. There we go. I have to say correctly for it to work, of course. And that looks just like this. So this is basically the HTML for this type. This knows it's the file. When we click the button, it opens up a browser and looking for a image here, right? So what we want to do is we want to add something to. We want to add the onChange. This is sort of like the on-click event we have here. And what we want to do is we want to do a upload image, and let's start with this first. So this is going to call a function or a method, and we're going to go all the way down to our code out here, and just before our add new item, we're going to do the upload image like this, and do the parentheses, and we do our curly brackets here, and we of course remember our comma separation here. And in this one we're going to check to see if the system can actually upload it. So what we want to do is real quick, we want to do a console log here. So we want to test what we are going to put into our system here, and what we want to print out is image, and that comes through an event. So we need to pass in the event, which basically will be the file. And for us to show this, this is called event.target.file with an S. And since it's an array, we need to grab the first image because we're only uploading one image. Now, when we switch, we can see this in the console log, the different if we want to go to that point. But let's not click save for this. Let's hope we didn't kill. Oops, let's just remove the space there. And let's go to our browser and see what happens here. So I need to log in again into my system. And once I click add item, I have a choose new file here, right? So I upload this, and I already made 2 bagels available for me. So woohoo on me. You can go find bagels online, whatever, just some images here. So I'm going to try, and before I do that, I'm going to open the inspect window here. So make sure that it's running. And then I'm going to upload file, and I'm just going to click bagel 1. So we see we have some issues over here. Cannot read the property of target. And that is because we are up here where we are doing our onChange. We're not actually having to have the function. We're not passing in any specific things like we would when we click an ID to delete it or anything. So just have it like this. Just call the function. We're not passing in anything. Go back here and let's click save, refresh, and let's try again. I'm going to remove this over here, clear this, choose file, and let's try again, see if we get some data. So now we can see we get some data over here, and this is the entirety of the file. Actually, it's only part of it, but I can show the other one as well. But we have the name, bagel1, we have the size, we have what type it is, an image and JPEG file. So if it was in PNG, this would switch. But let me just show you what the target and files do. So I'm just going to pass in the event here, and I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to upload bagel1. And now you can see I get the event, and I have a different data here, which is all right? But where I went before was the event.target. So if I expand this, all this one here, and then the last one I did was, I can't even remember, was target.files. So scroll down to F, right? Where we have a F. There we go, files. And if I expand this, I get to the same point. So you can see I'm at the first part in the array, the first position, which is 0. Expand this, and now I can see the same things as before. So I'm trying to upload, or I'm attaching the file bagel2.png to this click event here. So that's why I tested on this one before. So that's the difference between the two, right? What I want to do is I kind of want to use this specific thing here to store this in a variable here. So I'm going to call this let file. So I'm going to name the file, the variable file, where we want to, not parentheses, but I just want to set this to .target.files position 0, right? So whenever I upload something, I'm going to save it into this variable here so I can use this later on in the system. Alright, now we have know this was working. I'm going to show you the way I'm going to use it in Vue instead, because I like it better. And also, since I'm using vuetify, then that's what I'm going to do instead. And it's fairly simple, but they kind of took a step out for us instead. So we have to write a little bit less code, I guess. But we want to use the vuetify one, and that's called v-file-input, and it completed it for me. Great. So in here we're going to put in the label, and that's just what let's just call this file output. I think if you copy it straight from input, sorry, if you copy this straight from here from vuetify, you can just see what it is, but I just did it so I can remember. So this is the one I want, right? File input from vuetify up here. So great. So that's the first part we want, and we also want to snag this one here. So the add change, we want to grab that one as well, and I'm just going to delete this one here. Click save. So we have the different. So we have the now like this. It does this with the thingy. Does the same here when we do this. All right. So that's just what we want to do. We switch this to the HTML to the vuetify instead, and let's go down here. And instead of having this target here, since they are already setting this up, it's just E and E. So let's do this, quick save, let's test this again. So file input, click bagel 1, and let's see if you go down here and it scales correctly. So we have the information again down here. This is the old one. I'm just gonna minimize this to show. So the first, the second, and the third one here. Great. So now we have the way it works in vuetify and how it would work without vuetify. All right, next video.